I'm here for another shelf spotlight. Hi, my name is Jeanette and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So today I'm going to do another shelf spotlight, and as I was planning the video and deciding what kind of spotlight do I want to do, what books do I want to focus on, how can I connect some of my books, and I got thinking, looking at the calendar, it's like, oh, this video is going to go up on a Friday. Okay, I used to participate in a blog theme, I guess, called First Lines Friday. And there was a lot of bloggers that did this at the time. I think some still continue. I haven't done it for a few years. But they would just share the first line of the book they're currently reading or a first line they really enjoyed. And it was like, does that intrigue you? And some first lines can be great in books and really, okay, I need to keep reading. Other first lines, they're okay, but then you still keep reading anyways, or at least I do. But I don't put down a book based on the first line. So I pulled 10 books off my shelf. I pulled them all from my read section. However, I have not read all of them in the last 10 years. Because there's a couple here that are not listed on my Goodreads, so I don't have reviews for them. And they are on my want to reread list because do I want to keep them on my shelves? I need to know. The fact that they've been sitting on my shelves for 10 years and I haven't read them might be a sign. But then there's a couple, like, there's no doubt why I've kept them. So we will see. How do you feel about first lines? I have a couple contemporary romance, a couple historical fiction, and then romantic suspense, because that is the primary genre on my bookshelves. So let's just get into the first book. So the first one is Pelican Point by Irene Hannon. This is book number 4 of the Hope Harbor series. And let's go to the first line. Does this make you want to keep reading? He'd inherited a lighthouse. Well, I need to know why he inherited a lighthouse, or how he inherited a lighthouse. What? As I mentioned, I have read this book, so any of the books that I have read and done video reviews on will be linked in the description, or I will have my blog linked for the reviews that are just written, because I have a couple, one of those for sure. So yes. So that is the first book. This is a contemporary romance. As I said, it is book 4 of the Hope Harbor series. And I had to know what was going to happen with the lighthouse. That definitely made me keep reading. So then we have Brunch at Bittersweet Cafe by Carla Lorando. This is book 2 of the Supper Club series. And the first line is, once upon a time, Melody Johannesson had believed in happily ever afters. So what happened that she doesn't believe in them anymore? I need to keep reading. Okay, then we're moving into historical fiction. And The Harsh Charge by Karen Whitmire. This is book 2 of the Hanger's Horseman series. I really enjoyed this book. It is my favorite of the series, and this one, this first line, I have problems with the place names. I don't know how to say them, how to pronounce them correctly, so bear with me. When Mark Wallace left Gringalot 2 days ago to deliver a prize gelding to a wealthy rancher west of Lenano, he never dreamed he'd be called upon to deliver a baby too. What? How did he get in that situation? Had to keep reading to find out, right? Does that intrigue you? Then we have another historical fiction, When Twilight Breaks by Sarah Sundin. And the first line in this one, Evelyn Brand had done a crack bit of journalism, and she hadn't even had to dress like a man to do so. Okay, why would she have to dress like a man? I need answers. Thankfully, I've read this book, so I know the answer. Are you intrigued yet on any of these? Okay, then we're moving into the mystery suspense category. We have Lake of the Cross by L.D. Stoth. This is book 2 of a campground mystery series. And line 1. I don't know why Maya agreed to get married like this. So not really a mystery, right? But, or is it a mystery? Not what you would expect for the opening of a mystery. But what's the wedding? Like, what's going on? Very intriguing. Then I have Attracted to Fire by DiAnn Mills. This is another suspense. They are all suspense now going forward. And this one is one that has been sitting on my shelf for 10 years that I read ages ago, and I'm hoping to reread it next year to find out, does it stay on my shelves? And line 1. If he doesn't muzzle his daughter, he's going to lose the presidential nomination. What's his daughter doing? I need to know. And another one of my favorite books, One Final Breath by Lynn H. Blackburn. This is book number 3 of the Dive Team Investigations series. And the first line does not give anything away from the previous 2, so I will read it to you, if I can find it. Okay, ready? It didn't get much better than this. And personally, I think that's perfect because I gave this book 5 stars, so it didn't get much better than this. I really like that line. If I didn't like the book, might not go so well. Okay, then we have another older one. Again, sat on my shelf for 10 plus years. Dee Henderson is an old favorite of mine. I have a lot of her books. So this is The Witness. I don't think it's a part of a series, but I could be wrong on that. It doesn't say anywhere on the cover. Okay, so this opening line. Can you relate to this? I can relate to this. Stopping at the mall to pick up a cut glass vase for his sister's birthday, a mystery novel for his day off, and a few items needed for the house had seemed like a good idea an hour ago. But Luke Granger was still short 2 items on his shopping list, and he had no desire to try another store. Do you ever get that? You have a list, you go to store, and then you're just like, can't find what you want, and you're just done. Don't want to try another. Yep, that's totally me. I can relate to Luke in that moment. Okay, then we have Life Flight by Lynette Eason. This is book 1 of the Extreme Measures series. I've read it. I really enjoyed it. And line 1. Today was not going to be the day they died. Not if she had anything to say about it. What's going on? Why? Why is there a threat of death? Gotta keep reading to find out. And I read that line and I kept reading. And along the same lines, we have Vicious Cycle by Terri Blackstock. This is book 2 of the Intervention series. Again, it's one that's been sitting on my shelves for 10 plus years because I have a lot of Terri Blackstock's books and I need to reread it to find out. So, the first line is, I should have died. Why? What? Like, why? Intriguing? Okay, so that is the first line of 10 books that are on my shelf of books that I just like the first lines of them. Do you notice the first line of a book? Are you intrigued when you read a first line? Do they ever make you keep reading and want to know what's going on? I'd love it if you would share a favorite first line with the book title in the description below, and I can check out those books, and I'm sure I'm going to add to my TBR from what you give. I'm sure of it. because first lines always intrigue me. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.